started here, because I have a couple things I have to announce, and then I'll introduce our speaker. First of all, my name is Jim McNeil. I'm the new president of the chamber. So if anybody needs anything, if I haven't met you, please come up and tell me what you do and how we can help you create value in your membership. I think we're working really hard trying to bring things to the business community that maybe we haven't done in a few years, particularly things that'll help us grow and learn and network and all the good things that might help us be successful here in the Mount Airy area. Today, I'm going to suspend all business for our regular business meeting. So if anybody has a committee report, please email it. If there's any old business, that will be tabled, and any new business, we're going to postpone until our regular business meeting, which is the second Friday of the month, when there's no quarterly meeting. Does that make sense? So that would bring us to May 10th. Those are at M&T Bank. Okay, thank you, M&T. And Dora back in the back for inviting us to use their back room, their meeting room. That's going to be 8 times a year. We'll have 4 of these meetings here. They're all scheduled. The next one will be July 9th. July 9th, we will have a meeting about issues, legal issues. Very important to a lot of business owners, a lot of people that have employees, and a lot of folks that have a corporation, LLC. So we're going to have an expert speaker who does a presentation on that. It's going to be John Wheatman, the entrepreneur's lawyer, if anybody's familiar with him. So if you've seen him before, I think you'll find that very valuable. Okay, I think that's it. Since we have a few minutes, so we like to do, if anybody's been to a chamber meeting, we like to do a quick round the horn. So I'll start. My name is Jim McNeil. I actually own an investment planning firm with Cambridge Investment Research called Guidemark Strategic. I have an office in Rockville and Frederick, and do a lot of work here in Mount Airy. Very honored to be the president. I've been on the board for several years. Very honored to be the president, and hopefully we'll have a great 2-year period here in the future. Why don't we start over here with Patrick? Go ahead, introduce yourself, Pat.
Patrick Reed with Reed and Son Services, plumbing service company located here in Airy.
Morning, everybody. My name is Wendy. I'm with G&D Construction, a radon mitigation company based right here in Mount Airy as well.
Chris Richard, owner operator SB Technology Resource. I'm here in Mount Airy, help people with their IT needs.
Dwayne with Brosini Electric Service, local electrician based in the area. Thank you.
Kevin Dunn, Victory Mortgage Solutions. Live here in Mount Airy, work in Frederick downtown. For all your mortgage needs, give me a call. Thank you.
So mine might be a little longer, but I'm Brittany Pingen. I am currently with Human Services Programs of Carroll County Incorporated until this Friday, and then starting Monday I'll actually be joining my husband. We have a pressure washing company, King and Clean, so anything from roof washing, siding washing, house washing, and more. I'm still working on it. I start then Monday.
Oh, wait a minute. Linda, you go. You both of you go ahead. Go ahead. Laura.
Okay.
Linda,
All right. Linda Laura. Laura Johnson, owner of Hummingbird Wealth Management, financial planning firm, also with Cambridge in Walkersville, Maryland.
Alrighty. Todd Zimmerman. Our company just purchased Twin Ridge Auto June of last year. So we are kind of new to the area, looking to see where we can help out and grow with the community.
Next up.
I'm Ike Bastian. I work with Todd here, Benny Avocado, Brighton Ridge.
My name is Margaret McNeil. I work for Wallace Consulting and Construction. We're a construction firm out of Highland, Maryland.
Marcia Gibney, owner of Backacre Auto Care, located back behind the Tractor Supply Health Unlimited Gym on Backacre Circle.
Brian Proust, owner of Green Home Solutions, locally owned indoor air quality company, residential and commercial.
Wade Gow from Mount Airy. We have products that help you live healthier and longer. Thank you.
Pete Margaritas. I live here in Mount Airy. I am a residential and commercial real estate agent licensed in Maryland, DC.
Sudha Kaista, I own Escape Printing in Mount Airy, and this year we are celebrating our 20 year. We do all printing in-house, screen printing, embroidery, paper printing, and marketing. Escape Printing, if you can think, we can print.
I'm Dora Pavanella, I'm representing M&T Bank.
And I'm Linda Coombs, part of the membership team with Dora, and I'm with North Star Custom Home.
Great. Hold on a second, Helen. I want to just say, I'm glad you went last, because now we can all turn around and say happy birthday to Linda today. Yay. Linda's like our COO. She's the chief of operations here. And we have folks that are doing a lot of stuff. Chris is our information officer. Kevin is our vice president. He's in charge of committees. Pete, social chairman. Sudha, scholarship and some other things that she's working on with us. Who else here? Helen attends all the meetings. Did I miss anybody? Very active. We have a lot of great things planned. Next thing up is our after hours program. Has anybody been to after hours? After hours is a more casual networking environment after work, and you can sponsor typically on a Thursday afternoon. Our next one is going to be at Delta Homes, and Dan and Pat from Cruise Planners will be hosting that. Okay, so without further ado, thank you for coming to our Power Hour. This is going to be every month, every quarter again, with a different subject. This month it's going to be about marketing, and our speaker today is Helen Rose. Helen is she's a,
Launch it queen.
Well, she's a launch it queen, yeah. Professor of business and the coordinator of the entrepreneur program at Howard Community College, and business owner of Launch It Consulting, and also a very active speaker. So with that, I'm going to let her do a little bit more, a better introduction of herself. Thank you very much, Helen.
Okay, let's get started. Oops, wrong glasses, wrong glasses, okay. So we are talking about marketing today. We have a full hour to get started here. I want to find out, so we went around the room and it sounds like we have a bit of a good diversity. We have some professional services. We have some home services. There's printing, well that's business services. We have a lot, I think that covers most of it, but in any case, I think we have a great diversity here. So before we get started, I want to ask you guys a question. Why is a marketing strategy important? You didn't know you were going to get asked questions, did you? I'm a professor, so that's what I do. Why is it important?
Brand awareness.
Brand awareness, okay, good, that's good. How about anybody else?
To set goals.
Set goals, excellent. Anybody else?
People need to know where you are and find you.
How they can find you. So, with a marketing strategy, it is really your roadmap. Your roadmap for your business. So if you think about when you launch a business, you do a business plan. That whole first half is your market analysis, is your marketing strategy. If you don't have a marketing strategy, you don't have a roadmap for your business. It sets your goals. And if you don't have your goals clearly defined, you don't have a clear path to them. Your marketing strategy defines that clear path. So when would you need to develop a marketing strategy? Anybody? At the beginning? Yes, when you launch. Anybody else? When else might you do a marketing strategy?
You do it
To
yearly.
exit.
The exit, yeah. You could do it yearly, you might. Okay, here's some key times. When you launch, okay, so when you launch a business, I already mentioned your business plan, that whole first half of your business plan, you have to have a solid foundation of understanding who your customer is and where you're going. The next is scaling. So anytime you are expanding your business, you're going into a new market, you're going to expand to a new geographical area, maybe a new target market, you need to update your marketing strategy because you need to make sure you know who they are, where they're going to see your message, and what they value. Change. It's not just 2020, change happens all the time. How many have been in business for 10 years or longer? Yeah. Have you experienced change? Yeah. It's a constant. Change is a constant, whether it is your customers' behaviors changing, whether it is, it might be a little too dark. Can people see me at all? That's good. Is that good? Okay. Okay, so the economy changes, technology changes, so there is constantly changes that take place. And when you have those changes, I'm gonna go over here because I feel like I'm right this side. When you have that constant changes happen, you need to update your plan. You need to make sure you know who your audience is, what they value now, how you need to shift your business, because you will need to shift your business. New products and services. Maybe you have a new product or service, and that's awesome, but you might need to shift your message. How does this service serve your customers now? Maybe this new product or service helps you expand to a larger audience. So you have to think about how that impacts your whole business, your whole marketing strategy. Product life cycle. You can call this a business life cycle, a product life cycle, and I wish it was a little bit bigger. But the whole idea, it doesn't matter what business you're in or what product. There's an introductory phase, a growth stage, there's maturity, when there's lots of competition in the market and you're starting to compete on price a lot, you're in maturity. The next phase is decline. So you have to pay very close attention at that time, because that is a time when you need to shift. You have to be ready to shift, because once you are competing just on price alone, and you are now a commodity, it's a slippery slope now. Okay? Because you're running, it's less and less profits, less and less money into your business. So a lot of businesses constantly are redefining when they're at that point. The largest companies are constantly coming out with something, new and innovative to make their business seem new. That's why you need to look at your business strategy and say, okay, what do I need to do? I need to set new goals, shift my business, and I need to look at my market and my marketing strategy all over it. Marcia said it, exit strategy. And who's your market? Who are your customers then?
Potential buyers.
Potential buyers. And what do they value?
Sales.
They probably value sales. But it's amazing, when you're selling to a different organization, they are, whether it's an individual or an organization, they will look at things differently. You have to look at it from their perspective. You might have been running, I was working with Will, he's been in business for like 40 years, and he doesn't like computers, And he runs it, like, hey, I'm successful this way. I said, but Will, you're not gonna be able to sell. All this information is in your head. All these contacts, these suppliers, all these customers, they're your customers. They know you. Those suppliers, they trust you. How are you gonna sell this? You can't sell it just on that. So we're working with him to, you know, improve his online presence because he has no online presence. So it's, you know, we have to make sure we shift it so that he's attractive to the buyer and what's going to attract them. So those are some key times when you need to update your marketing strategy. Okay. I have an exercise for you. Now, you don't have, actually, do you have, if you have paper, write this down. If you don't, you can put a note in your phone, okay? If you didn't bring paper. So this is a really powerful, when you start, whether it's a business plan or a marketing strategy, marketing plan, you have to have clear goals. This is a really fun exercise. So you list 10 seemingly impossible goals for your business. Why 10? Because some people can come up with like, oh, I can come up with, you know, 3 impossible goals. 10. You're gonna come up with 10. We don't have time to do this right here, but you're gonna do this at home. This is your homework, okay? 10, because it stretches you. It stretches you and stretches your vision for your business. You have to dig deep into yourself, like, what do I really want? Okay? And when you have that list, you're gonna look at that list and you're going to notice that several are related, that they're interconnected, meaning like, oh, if I accomplish this one, this other one's easier to accomplish. So I want you to circle all those that are interrelated. Yes, you can take pictures of this so you can remember to do your homework, okay? Then you're gonna look at those circles, those circled goals. And you're gonna see the pattern. You will see the pattern. That is your vision for the future, for your business. And when you have that vision, as you develop your marketing strategy and your goals and your tactics, that's what you're going to take into account. Because if you just keep doing the same old, you're gonna get the same results. But if you have this vision and you work towards that vision, you're gonna see a huge difference. It might not be right away, but you keep stepping towards that higher vision and you will get there. You will be surprised when you look back a year from now or 2 years from now, how much you've massively accomplished. Okay, so if you haven't taken a picture yet, take a picture. Okay. All right, so it starts with the customer. Who is your ideal customer? So you might start with looking at your current customers. Maybe your current customers are your ideal customers, or maybe just some of them are your ideal customers, okay? Who are the most profitable customers? So think about that. The most profitable. They might not be most of your customers. Maybe you need to shift to target the most profitable customers. Which are the customers you most enjoy working with? Because we want to love what we do, okay? And we want to work with people we enjoy working with. Those people you enjoy working with might be your ideal customers. And that's how you can define who your target audience is. your vision that I just talked about. To reach that vision, who are those those customers? They might not be who you have today. I was working with an interior design company, and they were like, oh, we're gonna work with consumers. And then after we did the whole marketing strategy for 2 days, you know, at some point I was like, you need B2B. You know, you already have an architectural firm. You're already working with real estate, with contractors, you have this network. And when we defined what they were doing, that's where they would get to their goals. So when you do the analysis, you might say, oh, wait a minute, my current customers are not going to get me where I need to be. I need a new target audience. Okay, so be aware of that. Don't forget to look at customer lifetime value. So, I mean, even in real estate, people are like, oh, well, you're gonna sell a house and then, you know, that's a big purchase. But how many times do people, I mean, I wish John was in the room because I'm sure he would have a great example. We have real estate, right? Do you have returning customers?
Of course.
Yes. Do people refer people, family members?
They do.
Yes. That's lifetime, okay? So you might have people coming back over and over and over again. And when I had my natural food business, I sold it in June. We had it for 20 years. We had some customers that were customers of ours for 20 years. I knew who they were, meaning I knew how to define who they were. You know, they were women, they were baby boomers, they were passionate about health. These women were, in that lifetime value, I mean, we were selling supplements and food online. It's not that expensive of stuff. $12,000 in their lifetime, $10,000 over the lifetime of 20 years buying from us. We wanted more customers like that were ordering every month from us. We did have a lot of those. But, so look at your customer lifetime value, those returning customers. So when you look at who they are, that can help you define your target market, your ideal target market, which may not be who you're targeting today. So you need to think about this. What I'm trying to do here is empower you with the tools so that you can create your own marketing strategy. I wish I had the time right now to work with each one of you and develop your marketing strategy, but I'm helping you come up with the tools so you can do it yourself. So, target market. Okay, so other ways you can define this target market, you could focus on demographics. I knew my demographics for my natural food business, okay? I knew it was 80% women. I knew it was mostly Gen X and baby boomers. And we were just starting to get the millennials in there because we're having kids, okay? There's something about that magic with them having kids, all of a sudden, they're interested in health. I knew who they were. Psychographics. What are their beliefs? What are their passions? What do they care about? That will impact, that you can help define who your customer is by psychographics. For my business, it was that health seeker. They cared about health. They were intensely passionate about health. Life stage. At what point in the life stage are your ideal customers? Okay? Is it when they, when they're just starting a family? Is it before then? Is it when their kids are, school age? Is it right when they retire? You have to figure out where your ideal customer is, where you need to, how you need to, when you need to reach them. Okay? And then let's not ignore business. So if you sell to business, what size of business? Is it small business, medium, large businesses? Which industry? You could dive into all of these and you could say, okay, well, who is the buyer in those businesses? What are they ideally like? So we could dig in. This is just high level, okay? You can dig into all of these things. But it's important to be able to define who they are. Because if you don't know who they are, you don't know how to target them. If you don't know who they are, you can't give, do a good message to reach them. So another way to understand them is understanding what their needs are. Okay, oftentimes what we do is we solve a problem. Okay, they have a problem, we're problem solvers. That's what entrepreneurship is. What are their wants? Maybe it's, they have this want. They want something better from their life, and that's why they're buying your products. Their desires. But understanding them and what drives them, what motivates them, who are their key influencers, what are their pain points, even what could be their daily routines. It may apply, it may not apply. Okay, you have to pick the things that work for you here and your business. But understanding them and understanding how they think is critically important. Anybody else want to take pictures? I say Jim. Okay. Why is your target market important? It drives everything. If you haven't heard of the marketing mix before, it's the 4 Ps. So when you know your target market, you create the right products and services to meet their needs. Okay? So if you don't know who the target audience is, you're going to create the wrong product. You're going to develop the wrong service. And it's going to be completely meaningless. Price. You have to know how much they value your product or service. You want to find the customers who do value what you do. Because if they don't, they're not going to pay you much. They're not going to pay you anything. But the people that do value it will pay you what it's worth and more. So you have to understand the target market and how much they value what you offer, so you can set the right price. And there's no right or wrong here, meaning, well, let me put it this way. It doesn't mean you have to go high, and it doesn't mean you have to go low. Nordstrom knows their target audience, and they set the price accordingly. Walmart knows their target audience, and they set the price accordingly. So it's not about the price, it's about the target market. You have to know what they value. Now, of course, you also have to know how much your things cost for you. So you have to make sure you are creating enough value. You have to find the right target audience that works for your financials. Place means how you're getting your product and services out to the consumer. Are you selling directly to them? Are you working through a partner? Reselling? Are you selling online? Are you selling in person? Are you in a store, a storefront? So when you understand your target audience and where they like to shop, how they like to shop, how they like to get information, then you can select the right distribution channels. Promotion is what most people think of as marketing. Really, marketing is all of that, okay? But when people think of marketing, it's really promotion. That is getting the right message out to your audience in the right place where they're going to see it, at the right time when they're ready to make a purchase. So that is promotion. If you don't know your target audience, you're not going to say the right thing. You know, I often have essay questions for my students on this. Why is a target market important? Well, the accounting students, they're great. They're like, if you target the wrong people, they're not, you know, you're not gonna sell anything, you're gonna go out of business, you're not gonna make any money. Yeah, it's true, if you don't understand your target audience, you're not gonna sell your products and services. You're not gonna make the most that you can out of your products and services. Okay, customer loyalty loop. I wish this was a little darker, but I think you can see it. Oh, I don't have a whiteboard. Oh, I have one over there. Doesn't matter. I've seen a lot of customer journeys drawn many ways. You know, sometimes it's this, gosh, I don't know. There were so many silly different marketing journeys I've seen drawn. You can find them online. The biggest problem I have with marketing journeys is they have this starting point and they have this end point. I like this one because it's a loop. We already talked about returning customers. You want to have returning customers. So in their journey, they have this initial consideration. That's number one. Number two, they're evaluating. They're evaluating their different options. They're evaluating their different alternatives, and it doesn't necessarily mean competition. Maybe they're gonna do it themselves, or maybe, when you think about all the different alternatives there are to what you offer, there's probably a lot, okay? It's not just competition. There is also doing nothing. That's an alternative. So they're weighing their alternatives and they're evaluating. And ultimately they make a decision. But then it's really this post-purchase experience that drives them back around to you. How is that post-purchase experience? And what's really fun is I take this thing to the next level. And so I tell you some tactics to use. So you want the right tactic at the right time. So when you're doing the initial consideration, they're in their research phase. They might not even realize they have a problem yet, but then they see an article, they see an ad, they see a social media post, and all of a sudden like, oh gosh, yeah, I do have a problem. They see a before and after picture of you know, a home improvement project, and they're like, oh wow, I can have a deck that looks like that. All of a sudden they're inspired and they're, you know, then you got them interested. But then it's the evaluation process. And they have to evaluate the alternatives. Oh, am I gonna do this myself? Or who do I go to do this? What are the options? So they're evaluating, so they're gonna be visiting websites. Okay, if I didn't say this out loud over here, researching, that would be blogs, videos, social posts, before and after pics. Evaluation, this is your website content. Ads, webinars, could be workshops, sales conversations. Maybe this is early sales conversations, okay? I don't just believe in digital marketing, I believe in person to person, okay? Personal selling is part of marketing too. And then it's about developing credible content. How can you build credibility with your audience at this point? So when they're evaluating those alternatives, they're like, oh, obviously the obvious choice. You know, I want to go with this person. So this is how are you going to prove your credibility? So there's certain tactics. Then you have the decision time. And so maybe they're at the point where they're ready and your ad pops up and boom, you got them at the right time. Okay, so they click on your ad and make a purchase or make an appointment. It could be maybe they filled something out on your website or they're a past customer and you have their email or their text and you've sent them a reminder, some sort of content. They see that information and boom, they're ready. They're ready to make a purchase now. Again, sales dialogue. Maybe it's you followed up. now is they're ready to make a decision. Before they were just researching, now maybe you've gotten an estimate to them, whatever it is that they needed to help make that decision, they're ready now. Or it could be online purchases. Again, I don't remember there being any e-commerce in here, but I did e-commerce for 20 years, so yes, you can make a purchase online immediately. Or purchase in person. Okay, so you could have a storefront, you could be visiting somebody, they could be visiting your office. So that's a purchase. But then, post-purchase, there's something called buyer's remorse. Has anybody heard that? Okay, yes. So you want to avoid buyer's remorse, where they bought something and they're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. You do not want that. Okay, you do not want that. So the best way to avoid buyer's remorse is to reach out to them. Follow up. This could be a call, this could be an email, a text. It could be some way of just saying, hey, just check in and see how things are. Did that work out for you? Do you have any questions? It could be customer service, having good quality customer service. When somebody calls up with an issue, you actually have someone that answers the phone. Okay? Yes, thank you. Yes, it's a rarity these days. That was one of the things that my business stood out for. We were one of the only natural food businesses online that still answered the phone. People loved us for that, especially those baby boomer ladies that spent lots of money. So customer service. Training, maybe you have to do some training. So I know we have a variety of businesses here, but for your business, what kind of follow-up could you do? Because when you make them happy, not only will they not have buyer's remorse, but they're going to become loyal customers that come back again and refer their friends and their family to your business. Do you want this loyalty loop? Let's see.
Helen, it's 9:30, just your time update.
Okay. Well, I'm doing good. Actually, okay. We may have time for questions. Okay, so what tactic, there's so many tactics out there, marketing tactics, but what tactic is good for you? So I have a strategy that I use. The first is, what marketing strengths do you and your teammates already have? You probably have a lot. Maybe you're a good writer. Maybe you are great with video. Maybe you're a great networker. Maybe you like taking those pictures of your finished product. There's something that you enjoy doing, or maybe a teammate, somebody that works for you, or even if it's your son or daughter, brother, sister, maybe they can help you out. They have a marketing strength. So, what's your marketing strength? Check that off. Next, what do your customers respond to? They're not going to respond to everything, okay? What do they respond most to? What marketing tactics? And the way you do this is testing. Testing. So you put something out there, and if you can look at the data, okay, whether it's ads, whether it's website clicks, whether it's, reading blogs, how many opens of the email, okay, look at the data. See what they respond to. Now, ultimately, it's not just that they open, it's that they purchase, okay? So that's the real result there. But you also want to at least know, are they opening this? And if they're opening it and they're not purchasing, okay, what I need to do to change, okay? But you can at least get a gauge on what they're responding to. You might be going down the right path with that tactic. So you want to check off what they're responding to most. again, going back to your vision for your goals, what tactics will help you get to that vision better? So if you're going after consumers currently, but in order to grow your business to where you really want it, you have to get B2B, then you have to be communicating using tactics to attract them. So that was just an example, okay? But make sure you look at those goals. You're not just marketing for today, you're heading towards that vision. And you have to put the tactics in place that gets you to that ultimate vision. So if it meets that goal, check that off. And content assets. So what this is, many of our products and services, you have sort of natural content assets. So if it's a physical product that you sell, you might be able to take pictures of it. If you're home services, you can do before and after. If you're an advisor, you have a lot of expertise to share. So you can do a quick video to share your expertise, a quick post on tips. There's lots of different things you can do. What content asset do you have? You might actually have a whole bunch of pictures or articles or tips, something sitting on your hard drive or in a Google folder that are just sitting there not being used. And you're like, oh, I just took these pictures because I wanted them. No, use them. This is marketing. This event is marketing, okay? Why do you think we were taking pictures? We're doing the video. I'm delivering this because I want to deliver this content for you. But am I going to take the opportunity to take some pictures so we can promote the next one? Of course I am. Am I going to take a video so we can help promote the next event? Of course I am. This is a market, these are marketing assets. So think about that when you are doing what you do. Is there a way to record this? Take pictures, something, so you can use it as an asset to use in your marketing. So wherever you have a lot of marketing content assets, check that off. So I hope you get where I'm going here. So whichever one has the most checks, those are the tactics to use. Each business is unique here, so I cannot tell you which tactics. There is no silver bullet. There's no magic pill. You guys know that because you're in business. There's no magic pill. When they have all these stupid ads on Facebook or whatever, say, oh, this is the tactic that you'll make millions. Okay, maybe it worked for them. And if it worked for them, why are they trying to sell it to you? Like why, if it worked, never mind. I won't go there. Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. Okay, but my point is, you have to figure this out for yourself, okay? If you need help, I'm happy, contact me, but search inside yourself, your strengths, okay? Your vision, your watch what your customers respond to. And then you'll know which tactics. You don't want to do a whole bunch of tactics. In fact, if you find that you have really like 3 strong tactics, okay, start with one, get good at it, and then add the next, okay? I do believe in having multiple tactics going at one time, but not if you haven't gotten good at them. If you're just dabbling and you're messing it up and it's not consistent, step back a little bit, get good at that one, or outsource it to somebody. Get somebody on your team to focus on that tactic so it's done consistently. before you add the next one. But find out what works for you and your business. So I like this funnel because again, it gives you an idea on which tactics to use at different times. And whether you call it a marketing funnel, a sales funnel, in fact, I usually try to think of it as a marketing funnel, which leads to a sales funnel. At the discovery stage, this is when you're using SEO. This is when you are doing ads, you're doing social ads. This is the discovery time. They're just learning about you. Interest, this is where, when they're going to your landing page. They're reading your blogs. They might listen to a video. It depends what your strength is in marketing. This is more in-depth topic. They are interested and they're evaluating. Again, that's where that evaluation stays. Appraisal, they really are trying to dig in and evaluate. So they're looking at reviews. They're looking at, they are looking at your competitors' websites. They're comparing. So you want your website to look good. Confirmation. I don't know that many of you in the room use a lot of case studies, but maybe you could. I usually see that in business to business, professional services. But again, this is where you're going to have more information. This is your landing page where they're making the decision, where they're getting more information. Again, this could be that sales dialogue time where they're actually talking to you and asking more information. In conversion, this is when they're actually making the decision to work with you. So again, it could be the checkout page, it could be the sign-up page, it could be that sales dialogue where they're actually saying, yes, I want to work with you. Where they're coming into your shop, okay, making the decision. So this is a marketing funnel. This just gives you another way of looking at that. Notice the KPI, okay? KPI is key performance indicators. So for every tactic that you try, that you're utilizing, you want to measure the success. Measure the success. So you want to actually test to make sure it's working. If it's not working, you have to refine it, fine-tune it. So for each one, it's hard to read that. It's even blurry for me, isn't it? Okay, I'll probably print this off. But think about, you have to measure what you're doing. So if it's ads, they have lots of metrics. If it's your website, you have, an SEO, you have your website data, Google Analytics. And sometimes even your website software will have some stuff embedded in it, so you don't have to go to Google Analytics. So see where people are hitting on your website. What pages are they looking at most? If you have blogs, which blogs are they reading most? What I used to do for clients is I would watch the trends, and certain topics would be popular at different times. It was in the IT services industry, so things happened very fast. And I was constantly watching what was hot at that time. And if we saw a hot topic building up, we would write more articles on that. And we would make sure there was a really strong call to action. Maybe we would have a workshop on that. Or we would have a webinar online to drive people to, because they were interested in that topic. So when you look at your data, it gives you other ideas on how to guide your customer to the next step in their journey. So you need to look at the data to see what's working and how to guide them. Let's see. really feel like that's the biggest message here is that you have to find the right tactic for your business. I mean, actually, first of all, you have to know your customer. You have to be clear on your target audience, who they are, and cater your marketing to them. You have to be clear on your goals, so you pick the right target audience. And then you have to pick the right tactics that work for you, your business, and your target audience. So if we're coming here to say, oh, she's gonna give me that magic tactic that's gonna do great for my business. That's not what I did. I gave you lots of ideas, but I gave you the tools. I empowered you to try to figure out which tactics are best for your business. How to determine your target audience so that you can create the right products, services, promotions for your business. So I'm pretty sure that was my last slide. So what questions do you have?
Questions for Helen?
You can throw anything at me, really. Yes.
You ever see the movie Tin Men?
Tin Man. It sounds familiar.
They had the before and after pictures. They still Danny DeVito was in it.
Yeah, it's
And
on
they-
siding.
Aluminum siding in Baltimore. They had before and after pictures, and they set up their camera before a really bad looking house. And they'd have the owners come out. What are you doing? Oh, we're taking before pictures. We want to be in the after picture. So that's a good example of your before and after.
Yes.
From,
Yep. Yes. Right.
So being in a service trade where I go to the customer, my thought process is I want to use a geographical area of where I'm gonna be willing to travel. Concentrate closer to home. Then I wanna use the psychological aspect of it as looking at somebody that needs a repair, and then somebody that actually owns a home. And then I'm gonna be looking for age. If they own a home, isn't that everybody, or should I be looking for an age?
So, yes, you're looking at geographic, okay, you're looking at homeowners. Of those homeowners, which is the ideal customer that has the most needs for your services? Are they older homes? Or are they newer, at what stage are you most likely to get the most business?
I'm thinking somebody that bought the newer home, or bought a home, whether it's older or newer. Obviously, older will require more repairs and updates for safety, but also for installs of new lighting or things like that, it could be in a newer home. So I'm thinking somebody that's freshly bought a home.
That's a good idea. I think that is definitely worth testing, and I think yes, that's what I wanted you to think through, like, who is it that's going to spend the most in that? I think that's good thinking, like, okay, they come in, and they're like, oh, I need to freshen this up, new lighting, I wanna change some stuff around, so that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, so that's excellent, critical thinking. Yes. Jim?
So I guess you're gonna say we should be trying to figure out how somebody learned about us, track what worked and what didn't work, what marketing to adapt our strategy to what's successful.
Yes, so
I kind of think it's
you
important to
worded
find
it,
out.
so
what-
how did they
Right.
find out about us?
Right.
If you're not doing a tactic and watching the data as it's coming in, then absolutely, for those people that were a successful sale, yes, how did they find out about you? Absolutely.
So I have a question. So I'm putting on my king and clean hat right now. So my husband Bobby, whenever he goes and does a house cleaning or whatever kind of service, he always asks, how did you find out about us? And it may be like referred from a friend, or the community pages are a big one. And there seems to be a trend of where people are finding King and Clean. But then I think about like other locations, like next door is becoming more popular, but we don't hear as many customers coming from there. So my question is, do we focus on the areas that are working, or do we try and expand efforts into, like, next door? Do we try and build that?
I love this question, because it's a good question. So, this goes along with the idea of, yes, look at your current customers, but is that your goal? Like, think about your goal, and you might have to do different tactics to reach that audience. So, depending upon what that goal is, you might say, okay, so now I need to try these other tactics because I need to expand to this geographical area or to reach these other audience. There's lots of people that need your service, and you have to figure out where to find those ideal ones. So, does that answer it?
So it goes back to the business goal. So even when
It
looking
does.
at commercial, so where do we want to be, and then focus on those areas?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It all comes back to the goals. Start with your goals. That has to be the very beginning point. What other questions? Last chance. No, actually, you can, I'm around. So I'm in the chamber, I'm in the BNI, I have my cards here if you want to get a hold of me. I want to thank all of you for allowing me to educate you today. I really appreciate it. And one of the things I did want to ask is that I touched on a lot of different things, okay? I focused on strategy because that's honestly what I think most people need. But if there is an area where you would be like, well, I would really love to learn more about social media or advertising, or we want to hear that. We need to know what your next interest area is so we can design the next trainings. So I don't have an evaluation. I didn't do an evaluation sheet. Any interest off the top of your head that you can think of?
If you give us feedback, sure, but I think everybody gives you 5 out of 5.
6 out of 5.
Okay, I want to thank you, Helen. Helen Rose, Launching Consulting. The cards are here, guys. I've had a lot of conversations with Helen, and she'll tell you about my marketing strategy. I encourage you, use her. She's a really great resource for you. I promise you, you're not going to be disappointed. So get in touch with her about your tactical marketing strategies, or your market tactics. I want to also thank you, all of you, for investing an hour of your schedules to grow our business community. It's important. You know, JFK had a great quote. I'm sure you all know what I'm going to say. But a rising tide lifts all boats. So as a chamber, our main goal is to help foster a thriving business community here in the Mount Airy area and our surrounding areas. And with that, we're trying to develop these programs to kind of give all of you an opportunity to invest your time wisely back into your businesses to develop and strengthen what you're doing, each of you, because we want to all be successful. Okay, so with that being said, I want to thank, so if you have any issues with membership, okay, we have doors.